All right, the second batch of college football playoff rankings are going to drop this Tuesday night. And now that Week 11 is in the books, I'm going to go ahead and give my projected top 25 and take a look at some big matchups next week. But before we get to that, let's take a look at some of the notable results from this Saturday. Indiana, what a drive by Fernando Mendoza to beat Penn State on the road. Huge win, huge moment for him. Texas A&M handled Missouri. Alabama did the same against LSU. Texas Tech, big result in the Big 12 in a battle of top 10 teams. Then Oregon squeaks by Iowa. Dante Moore with a game-winning drive and a game-winning field goal for the Ducks as they maintain with just one loss. All right, before we get to my projected top 25 and projected bracket, do a little subscriber battle. This video, again, is going to go on 4Verts, my YouTube channel here at Chat Sports, where we talk college football and the NFL, and on Chat Sports, where a variety of hosts hop on. Last week, got to say, 4Verts dominated this competition, so if you're watching on 4Verts, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching on Chat Sports, subscribe as well. We will continue to cover college football on both channels. All right, welcome to the top 25, the Cincinnati Bearcats. I think enough teams lost where the Bearcats could sneak in there at 7-2. Same with the 8-2 Houston Cougars, a couple of Big 12 teams sliding in. Last week, the College Football Playoff Committee kind of told us that they like the Big 12 over the ACC, so I do think a couple Big 12 teams could sneak in there. Tennessee still in the top 25 at number 23. Did not play this week. They should slide up a spot or two. Iowa at number 22. I still think they'll be ranked. I mean, you lose at the gun to a top 10 Oregon team in a game they easily could have won, so I do expect the Hawkeyes to still be in the top 25. And then I've got Pitt moving up a few spots to number 21. They're sitting at 7-2 on the year. Louisville tumbles a bit. They fall to 7-2 on the year, lost in overtime to Cal last night. That certainly hurts their ACC and college football playoff hopes. Same with Virginia. Chandler Morris went down with an injury, and they were unable to overcome that. They lost to Wake Forest. They dropped to number 19. Michigan off the bye week sits here at number 18 at 7-2. Number 17 USC beat Michigan head-to-head. The committee honored that last week. I would expect that to be the same this week. Miami was able to bounce back by beating Syracuse, so I've got them moving up to number 16 and maybe back in the driver's seat in the ACC after a couple of teams lost yesterday. Georgia Tech was off, and that was a good thing because it was a rough day for the ACC. I have them at number 15 sitting at 8-1. BYU tumbles to number 14. They got handled pretty easily by Texas Tech, so I could see them falling quite a bit. They're 8-1 now, Cullen, so we'll try to get that updated here on the fly. Vanderbilt sitting at 7-2. I've got them up at number 13 after a close call. They were able to beat Auburn, but big win for the Commodores and Diego Pavia and company. We'll get to the top 12 here. Utah at 7-2 did not play this weekend. They were off, so I have them moving up just the one spot from 13 to 12. And then I've got Oklahoma sitting at number 11 right there on the border of the college football playoff. Remember, it's not just the top 12 teams. It's the 5 conference champions, projected conference champions, aren't guaranteed a spot. So in this case, they'll be on the outside looking in. We'll explain that later once we get to the bracket. All right, today's show is brought to you by Prize Picks. The hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. It's very easy to navigate the Prize Picks app as you can toggle by sports and then specific stats as you start to make your lineups. You just pick more or less on stat projections for 2 to 6 player lineups, and if you hit, you win money. It's as simple as that. On Prize Picks, how you play is up to you. If you want flexibility, choose the flex play option where you can get paid even if one of your picks misses, and if you want the biggest payouts, go for the power play. No matter how you play, Prize Picks is a great way to put your takes to the test. Football Sunday action here. Caleb Williams took more on his passing yards. Jackson Dart took more on his as well. 2-player lineup, $20 entry to win $55 Check it all today. Download the PrizePicks app. Use our code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it is good to be right. All right, Texas slides into the top 10. Big matchup coming up this weekend against Georgia. Notre Dame took care of business against Navy as well. Played much better this week. They slide up to number 9. Oregon up to number 8. Thought about moving them to number 7 with their win against Iowa, but Texas Tech did beat a top 10 opponent in BYU and beat them handedly. So I've got them at number 7. And then Ole Miss at number 6, sitting at 9-1. We'll see if the committee moves up Texas Tech or Oregon ahead of Ole Miss, considering they beat ranked opponents and Ole Miss played an FCS school. So sometimes you see movement like that, but Ole Miss does have multiple ranked wins, so I would be surprised. Okay, Georgia at number 5. They took care of business, as did number 4, Alabama. So no changes there. Alabama, nice win over LSU. And then the top 3, I think, stays the same that the committee had it last week, as Texas A&M remains undefeated after winning yesterday. So does Indiana with their win over Penn State. And then Ohio State smoked Purdue. So I would imagine the top 5 stays the same, as no one lost. And there wasn't any notable result in any of these games that would move guys up or down. I mean, I guess they could move A&M ahead of Indiana. They beat a lowly ranked Missouri team. Indiana barely beat Penn State, but I don't know if that's enough to flip 2 and 3. And even if it does, it doesn't really matter, as there's still multiple weeks to go. Who is the best team in the country? Not necessarily who should be number 1 on a resume. Like, who do you just think is the best team? Like, if your favorite team had to play, like, you don't want to play this team, who is that team? Let us know who you think that is. All right, here's the projected bracket. Memphis went down, and last week the committee did not have a non-Power 4 team ranked. I think it'll be either North Texas or South Florida. Now, South Florida has 1 extra loss, but they've played a tougher schedule. They also beat North Texas head-to-head, so I could see that going either way. But I don't think it'll be Memphis after they went down. Navy lost again, so I don't think they're in the mix. So I think it's North Texas or South Florida. I'm going to give it to the Mean Green there for now. You got Oregon, Notre Dame in the 8-9 game right there. Georgia, North Texas, the 5-12. Texas Tech and Texas, how fun would that be in the 7-10 matchup, an old Big 12 game there, and then Ole Miss, Georgia Tech. Those are the round of 16 games. Then obviously those would feed into those quarterfinal matchups. Winner of Ducks Fighting Irish would play Ohio State. Georgia North Texas winner would play Alabama. Texas Tech Texas winner would play Indiana, and then Ole Miss Georgia Tech winner would play Texas A&M. And again, why is Georgia Tech and North Texas the 11 and 12 seed? Because they are the 4th and 5th projected conference champions, and the top 5 ranked projected conference champs get automatic bids. Okay, some big games this week, and then we'll get out of here. Texas at Georgia, huge game. If Texas gets it, their playoff chances sit in a very good spot. If they lose, they would need a lot of help to get back into the mix with 3 losses. Notre Dame at Pitt, huge game. Notre Dame, we've said for weeks now, if they win out, they're going to make the playoff. If they suffer a 3rd loss, they will not. If Pitt wants to have a chance to make the CFP, they're going to have to get this one. Oklahoma at Bama, same deal as Texas at Georgia. Bama doesn't have to win it, but OU does. So if Oklahoma wants to be in the CFP, they're going to have to win next week. Iowa at USC. Iowa with 3 losses probably doesn't have a great path, but USC only has 2 losses. So if they can handle the Hawkeyes at home, they're in a decent spot to potentially make the playoff. And then South Florida at Navy. Both those teams sort of in the mix for the group of 5 automatic berth. We'll see. USF could be the projected team this Tuesday. We'll have to wait and see. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of Four Verts and College Football Now on Chat Sports. Again, this video being published on both channels. Go subscribe. Subscribe to both channels. Support us here at Chat Sports. We would greatly appreciate it. My name is Harrison Graham, and we'll be live on Chat Sports Tuesday night reacting to these rankings in real time. So we'll see you then.